It's a Fighter's Fest, a Survivor Series, this isn't chess. And I'm in full gear, but keeping my cards close to my chest. You claim to be the best, my revolution is to beat the best. And you in the Viper's pit with nowhere to go, so what's left?
What's going on, everyone? It's your boy, KB the Mark, and we're back with another installment of the Viper's Pit. As always, housekeeping. There's always housekeeping at the very beginning. Please don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, push that notification bell so you don't miss out on any more uploads. It was the Smackdown Go Home show to Money in the Bank in London, England. And you know what? It was a great go home show. Great go home show. There are some things I didn't like. I'm not going to sit here and make it seem like that it was perfect. Far from it. But for what we got, I was thoroughly entertained. I was not bored in the slightest. But I do have some questions and I do have some concerns. We started off with the Undisputed Tag Team Championship match. Pretty Deadly versus KO and Sami Zayn. KO and Sami Zayn defending against Pretty Deadly in London. And this match here, I thought this was Pretty Deadly's best showing on the main roster. They came into London. They didn't get as big a pop as I thought they were going to get, but it was good enough. I think KO, well, I know KO and Sami are over. They're over. But I definitely thought they would get more of a pop. But this was Pretty Deadly's best showing. And it's great that they had this showing against the Undisputed Tag Team Champions. I think they're going to revisit this. I don't think they're going to win the next time they revisit, but I think they're going to revisit. We then had Adam Pearce and the Brawling Bruce in a backstage segment. The Brawling Bruce interrupted Adam Pearce and asks where Solo is because Rich owes him one. Pearce states that Solo has other business and can't fight tonight. Pearce informs Ridge that he has a match against Austin Theory, and if he wins, he'll be in contention for the United States title. I don't know why I even allowed myself to think that Ridge Holland was going to be Austin Theory. Shame on me. I deserve a yes, and I deserve a makes no sense. Give me one more. Don't even know why I even allowed myself to think that. We then had Ridge Holland versus Austin Theory. Austin Theory got the win in about 3 minutes. This match here, one more time. We had a Bloodline recap, the past 3 years being recapped. Excellent video. When I watched it, it seemed like a movie. WWE can make hype package videos. They do it every time around a premium live event, Monday Night Raw, Smackdown, NXT. They just know how to put these hype videos together. We then had Bayley versus Shotsi. Bayley got the win, kept her spot. I thought this was a nice match. You know, I was watching the match and I kept asking myself, are they really going to put Shotzi back in here? Because I can't remember if it was last year's Money in the Bank. It might have been last year's. Yes, it was last year's Money in the Bank. She really didn't have that good of a showing. She really didn't look that good in the Money in the Bank match last year. And I'm not trying to use that as a knock. I just think she's not ready at the moment. I would say around this time next year, Shotzi will be ready for Money in the Bank. Post-match or after the match, Damage Control was backstage. Shotzi came back there and confronted them, says she's not done with Bayley. And Io, she attacks Damage Control. Damage Control suplex Shotzi onto a table and Bayley cuts her hair. I don't know where it's going. So for now, I'm going to give it a... If we're going to use this to catapult Shotzi up the card some, I'm all here for it. So for right now, I'm going to Grayson Waller, the Grayson Waller effect, special guest, Logan Paul. Grayson Waller puts over Logan Paul and welcomes him to the Grayson Waller effect. Grayson Waller asks Logan Paul, what would it mean to win Money in the Bank? Logan Paul states that when he wins the Money in the Bank, he will be able to call his shot, but then is interrupted by LA Knight. Yeah. LA Knight states that Logan Paul has proven a lot with what he's been given, but that's the problem, what he's been given. LA Knight states that Logan Paul is standing in his ring, and tomorrow night the odds are against him. Logan Paul states that LA Knight was supposed to be a manager in WWE and that he has had a lackluster career. Logan Paul states that LA Knight should be happy that he's even addressing him. LA Knight asks London whose game it is, which they say LA Knight, yeah. Logan Paul tells London to go home, they're drunk, and is interrupted by Santos Escobar. Santos states that he is the one who needs to win Money in the Bank and is interrupted by Butch, and it breaks down into a brawl. You know, a lot of time when they do stuff like this, it feels kind of forced. This felt not forced. I feel like there were just two people casually having a conversation, Grayson Waller, Logan Paul. Then LA Knight appears and he gets to talking his talk because they already had a problem with Logan Paul when he announced himself in the Money in the Bank without qualifying. Everybody else had to work for theirs, and Logan Paul's just like, I'm just gonna show up and get mine. Didn't like that, but LA Knight came out, said what he had to say, then is interrupted by Santos. You know, a lot of times these promo trains can feel like a promo train. This one didn't feel like a promo train. It felt natural to me, and definitely enjoyed it. One more time for these men. These men put on a hell of a segment. We then had a triple threat match. LA Knight versus Butch versus Santos Escobar. Butch got the win. It seemed to me they were kind of holding something back, which makes sense. You don't really want to risk too much of an injury before the Money in the Bank match. So just keep it light. Just give them something to whet their appetites for tomorrow. I thought it did its job. It wasn't nothing to write home about, but sometimes you just need stuff to do its job. And that's exactly what this triple threat did. Immediately Butch brings a ladder into the ring, and then they start taking each other off the ladder, and then Butch climbs up and grabs the Money in the Bank briefcase. Definitely don't think Butch is winning tomorrow. We had Asuka defending the WWE Women's Championship versus Charlotte Flair. You knew where it was going when Adam Pearce banned Bianca from ringside. You knew exactly where it was going. She bought a ticket, a whole bunch of bullshit shenanigans. She catches a boot. Bianca Belair steps over because she bought a ticket. She was in the audience. Catches a boot. She hops over the barricade, starts beating up everybody. She tells Charlotte to keep her hand out her face. She decks Charlotte. Charlotte decks her. 2 KODs on a table, and there you go. You knew where it was going. It hasn't been announced yet for tomorrow's Money in the Bank. I think it's going to get announced as a triple threat, but you knew where it was going. We then had the main event segment, the Bloodline face to face, and excellent. Roman tells London to acknowledge him. Roman states that for 2 years he's let the Usos say we the ones. Roman states he's the only one. He's the greatest of all time. Roman states he's the only one who cares and loves the Usos. Roman states that he's the one. Roman states that he's the only one who's given the Usos opportunities and says family that betrays you is what sucks. Roman states that he's the only one in the family who wants to give the Usos another chance, but what the Usos need to do is come out, bow down, apologize, and move on. The Usos interrupt Roman Reigns, and Jimmy states that Roman has the entire thing twisted. Jimmy states that they're past acknowledging and they're past apologizing, and right now it's all about consequences. Jay states that tomorrow they go to war, and when Roman loses, he's the only one out, and states that Roman will not be the tribal chief. Jimmy and Jay states that even though he's tripping, they vote Solo to be the new tribal chief. Roman tells the Usos to shut their mouths and asks that this is a game. Jimmy super kicks Roman, and it breaks down into a brawl to end Smackdown. Excellent television. You gotta love it. They did the slow burn with Solo. I didn't think it was gonna work. I thought he should have just went with his brothers right then and there. But they did the slow burn, and it worked. He was over as soon as they said Solo. That leads me to wonder, is Solo turning on the tribal chief? But that's it, you guys. That's it for another installment of the Viper's Pit. Before I get up out of here though, because I didn't even rate the show. My bad, guys. So I gave Raw 6.5. I gave Dynamite a 5. I give SmackDown a 7.5. Excellent. A lot of great television tonight. A lot of great television. Like I said, are there some things I question? Sure. I can go here and question the Charlotte Flair and Asuka. I can question the Austin Theory, Ridge Holland. The Bayley and Shotsi match, even though it was fine, you can kind of question that as well. But they're outside of just minor things. The show was great. Great show. Great show. This is what a go-home show should be like. Right here. What I saw tonight is a great go-home show for SmackDown. Thank you guys. Now I can finally say it. Thank you guys for being here, listening to another installment of the Viper's Pit. Please don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, push that notification bell so you don't miss out on any more uploads. I'm KB the Mark. Thank you again for listening to another installment of the Viper's Pit. Hope you have a wonderful, wonderful day.
I started with nothing and came out a king. I've been the one that's been ballin' for rings. It's been me and my team and we chasing the green. My team be the shit, we ain't ballin' for free. My team be the shit, we ain't ballin' for free.